Did you score?
What'd you get?
I did.
You got the goods. Wait, that looks like. Okay. Oh yeah, it's fine.
It's
so what?
an Orangina stevia. Let me see.
So
Does it taste like
Sativa.
orange vagina?
A fake sugar.
orange vagina stevia.
Yeah. Single-use ceramic core CO2 oil vape system. It's a lift ticket, apparently. I get it. It gets you high. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it shouldn't even have a button. You just pull and you're good to go. Although it might take a couple to heat up the coil. You might have to inhale a couple times.
Okay. He said 2 or 3 hits max.
Max.
Yeah, well, you'll be able to see. You'll
Smart
be able
guy.
to see what you can breathe out. Like it'll be apparent.
How big is a hit? Is it like from that 70s show where you just inhale as much as you can and hold
No,
it?
take
No.
it easy. Take it easy.
Don't do
Just
that.
like a
We're
normal.
here
like,
for like 3 more hours. You just take it nice and easy. I don't need you passing out on me.
like a half breath, just like. But you don't even need to pull that hard. Yeah, you're gonna be. All
I'm
right.
gonna laugh when Woody just fucking gets narcoleptic for the rest of the show. Like, he just starts nodding off.
Well, it's
So you see
lighting
how
up.
the-
It's working. All right, that's good.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you
I was,
go.
all right, now let's wait. Let's wait 3 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. I really would. Like
Yeah,
I
and
think
then
we're,
the
I
good
think
news
we
about a
went now.
pen is that it's very controlled, and you can get as much as you need. And with weed, it's like alcohol. You could get higher later if you wanted to. This is not like people talk about like smoking weed is like, oh, I'm gonna be high in 45 minutes. Like I don't know, like you're gonna know in about.
Does it hit this fast, or
Yes.
am I just
Yeah.
making
Yeah,
it
you're
up?
high now.
No, you're
Yeah.
it's that easy.
Yeah, it hits that fast. You're high.
Yeah, I think
All
Yeah.
right.
That's
Oh,
nice. So I mean, it was you walked. I mean, so what's I see your location data. You're in the middle of Colorado.
yeah.
So
I mean-
what was the store like? Did it look like an Apple store, or was it a little more homey?
So there was a lot of security at the front door. There was like a little waiting room, and they carded me, but they didn't just card me. They like entered my card into a system, I guess, to verify that it wasn't just a bouncer using his judgment. I think they used a computer to
They
ensure.
scan
All right.
it and they check it with the DMV.
No, they only take cash. So there's an ATM machine in that little lobby cell thing. They've got you there, and I had some cash on me, so I just walked right in. And when I told them that I had never smoked before, which is only kind of sort of true, like one time in the Dominican Republic, we tried it and it didn't work, and we might have smoked oregano. But when I was like, I've never smoked before, my friend said, sativa vape pen or something like that. And he's like, never, ever. Suddenly I'm a celebrity. There's 3 employees there. They're all like paying way too much attention to me. I don't want anyone to like, I don't know. Somehow I want to keep it a secret from the people at the marijuana dispensary that I might smoke pot.
Yeah.
I think I might have just blinked out. And I'm like embarrassed that I'm buying this. I'm like, what would my mom think? Hey, Mom, I'm not sure you're watching this. And that's just going through my head. And he's just like, dude, yeah, we'll get you this, we'll get you that. He's hooking me up with like, I don't know, supplies that I will need to get high with for a long time. And it's like, no. This is just I'm passing through Colorado. Like, we're not on the same wavelength. He's got me with these like rechargeable things, and he's trying to throw in gummies and this and that. And he's trying to get me to review his store and all this on top of it. But I'm like, I just kind of want, what Kyle said to get. And and even though I asked for sativa, they hit me up with a hybrid and an indica pen too. And they were like selling those, but I was like, no. They told me what to get, so that's what I came back with.
Way to stay true to your guns. They were.
Mm-hmm.
I like indica.
Oh,
I
that's
the strongest. Yeah, because I want to get fucked up. But
it's a different kind of experience than the one that you're smoking is a little more less body, more mind, right? Like you'll feel a little giggly, silly. It's more creative stuff. Indica is like I want to go to bed. I want to sit in the couch and feel like I'm a part of the couch.
Oh God,
how you feeling over there, Woody?
I'm happy.
You're looking
Yeah.
content. You're looking like Buddha right now. Yeah.
Zen mode, huh?
Mm-hmm.
God, I wish I could smoke some fucking dope.
This is just making Kyle like. It would be like it's like the episode where I think it was Kyle was drinking, and I think I had just kicked like basically like alcoholism, and I saw him drinking. I'm like, fuck it, I gotta have at least one beer, and then like that one beer turned into two, and then that's how they get you, man. That's how they get you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No, it's okay. You didn't open the beer and force it down my throat. It's not your
the
fault.
high is not that high. Like, I don't know.
You can just keep hitting it.
Yeah, that was only 2. He said 2 or 3.
I mean, if it were me, I would be like, I'm about to go get my nicotine vape in a second because like I'm missing it right now. But I would be smoking it like that. I would just be hitting it over and over. We took
Does this little clear lens tell you how much is left?
Yeah, you can see the goo in there. If you like move it around, like that liquid, that goo in there, that's
you have half a gram in there. So for me, if I don't smoke vape pens, I much prefer like straight like a bong or a joint.
Yeah.
And like the act of literally exhaling a volcano of cloud into somebody's faces, you know. But no, I mean that'll last you if you really wanted to guess, it probably like 70, 80, 90 puffs if you're ripping that. That's a lot. And that's only until you can see like a noticeable change. You could probably get a good 250 out of it for half a gram if you're smoking it like over time.
I think you need to
Sounds
smoke some
great.
more weed, Woody. I just don't see you smoking nearly enough weed. You're making far too much sense. You're having your takes are too.
I was going to
cogent.
say your eyes are opening back up. Time to hit it again.
I was thinking the same thing. So there's not.
If you insist.
Should we get started with this?
Sure. I'm taking 25 Delta 8 milligrams.
I'm doing the same. Maybe this is a mistake. So this is 100 high potency, whatever, and I'm going to cut a quarter off of it.
It's going to be too much.
I don't even know what to say though. You're married, Woody smoking weed, like
it's
dude, wild. You have no idea. So I thought that little pen I bought at first was going to be like enough to get high once. It turns out it's enough to get high every night.
Yeah, you can get
for like
once 100 times.
What was the thing that you were smoking? Because I haven't seen the. It was a joint. Was it a pen?
It was a vape pen called. What was it, like Orange Vagina or something like that?
Orangina.
It would not have been called Orange Vagina.
It was Orangina.
That purple vagina.
And someone mentioned that, like, even though is it Steve? It's not stevia. That's the sugar.
Sativa.
Sativa. Thank you. I can't get it right.
Yeah,
but even though it's
on
sativa,
the couch, is that what the guy said to you in the couch?
And this, like, it helps you sleep thing. It does. So
wait, indica is the one that helps you sleep. No.
Well, yeah, it's the one that'll fucking knock you out. But I'm sure it really any weed is going to like relax you. And
I smoke a lot, and I always get tired. Like no matter what, it's like this will keep you up. And then like we smoked this big joint, and I'm like, I don't know, man.
I remember in college, like not even fully buying into the different strains because I'd go to my drug dealer in college and he'd be like, this is like heavy, heady sativa. And then like, I'm like sitting at home like, well, I hope I'm not too heady to watch Trailer Park Boys. And then it's like, smoke it. And it's like, no, I'm just high. And then you go and you get an indica. Oh, this is like fucking purple gorilla mist or something. And then, no, I'm just high again.
Dude, over the last 7 days, I might be the biggest stoner on this show.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to
I don't know. I honeymooned in Jamaica.
And like,
you are a tough competition, Taylor.
If you do inhale and the longer you keep it in your lungs, the higher you'll get.
Yeah, I found that to be true. It also makes you cough a little more. So I
want that
too. My way, but maybe I saw a YouTube comment, but they're like, Woody doesn't hold it long enough. But I'm brand new at this. I don't know what I'm doing. And but what happens is we'll be
holding it long right away because like you're so brand new to it. Like I don't know what zero tolerance is like anymore. Like I have no idea what that would be like with a dab pen. For all I know, like if you'd like held it in your lungs for like 5 seconds and then like coughed it out, you wouldn't have been able to do the show. I was afraid of that. That's why I wasn't like,
pussy. No, I see. I think that's the show, though. That's the show.
There were portions of that show last week. I'm sorry, I got to cut you off, Harley. But the portions of the show where, like, I don't know, there's no topic. It's dead air. I'm leaning back like 6 feet from the camera, and I don't really care. I'm okay with anything.
I remember back in the day, like I had a lot of friends that just had a lot of money. Like they would get like a nice fat allowance. They'd like work for their dad for a day and get like $100, and they'd spend $50 to get 7 grams of weed. And I had like $10 on the weekend. Like I'd have $10 I could spend. And I remember I would go and I would buy like 1 gram of weed, and everyone else said I have all these big joints, and I'd always be like, oh, like I hit it one time, you know? And I'd hit it one time, and that's when I'd be like, and then I'd be like, I like walk away, and I'm like, people like, yeah, I'm like, and then on the way out, I gotta cough it out too. Like I gotta maximize highness off my one poor hit of someone else's joint. Just to like, and just like you can get the right hit. You're like, 16, 17, dumb. You get like a good hit, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be fucked up forever.
I wish I had money.
The high part. Kyle, do you want to go?
No, go ahead. You're talking about your first time smoking weed. Really, go ahead. It's funner.
The high part, like, there were times I wondered if I was even high. What happens? We'll be like, hey, kickstand's up at 7 a.m. That's what we said today. So I'm like, I have got to get to sleep. I'm taking the 4 biggest hits off this thing that I can, right? So did not like the show. Doing a big inhale, I'm holding it. I cough it out 4 times, and then I'm in bed and I'm like, am I even high? I don't know.
And then I thought about that for 50 minutes.
Then I like rolled over or something and tried to operate my computer, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely high.
It took you like doing something to be like, okay.
That's it. Yeah. And I swear that happens with drunk too. Like if you just sit in a chair and you're fine, and then you stand up and you're like, whoa, all right. Now I can better gauge how drunk I am. But it does help me sleep for sure. And that's it's kind of, I've been using it almost as melatonin.
Yeah, it's better. It's the best sleep aid. It's the best sleep aid. That might be my favorite thing about it. No, there are many things I like about it.
Yeah, I like smoking it. I don't know about that though for me, because when I smoke at night, that's when I'm like, oh, now I want to do fun things. Like
really,
no one's gonna bother me. Like at night, like if I do it during the day, it's like hot. I'll like lie on the couch and fall asleep, like pass out for 30 minutes watching something and be like, oh, fuck. But like at night, when everyone's asleep and I'm smoking, that's like, probably like, I'm going to roll another one so it's ready. And now I'm going to do all the things I wanted to do. And then I'll take out a book and like stare at it for like 1 full minute and be like, oh my God, I didn't even start reading it.
We're fawning over Kyle with 1,000 milligrams. Woody, you're handling this way better than I thought you would. Like 25 off the cuff, not having any tolerance. Well like done. I thought you were gonna be
I'm not doing anything. I'm like doing the same thing Kyle's doing. Like
no, you're not. Kyle's fighting for his life, Woody. Okay.
That's gonna be in the description.
I'm not talking like Kyle.
It'll be in the description at like 4 hours and 48 minutes. It'll be like Taylor and Tucker talk for an hour and 14 minutes or whatever.
I don't know where I put it. I wanted to prove it was real, but I kind of already.
You don't have to. You prove did. You did. We all know you did.
It is visibly real.
Okay.
My favorite is that it looks like a condom wrapper.
No, you're just stoned. How are you feeling, Woody? Like, you're not vibrating or anything. You're not that high. You're just feeling out of it, sleepy.
Nah, not. I mean, I don't know. I'm just like the anxiety's a little gone. I feel less pressure to actually do this show while recording.
You almost said the F word right there.
There is a thing where if I twist my head, like I kind of feel the I don't know if I'd say delay like you did, but it's the best thing I have right now. Like there's a sort of like, that was
just a warped perception. It's not the way it should be. Yeah.
And I don't know. Mostly I'm just like, I got a case of the whatevers.
I mean, there's a reason that's like the stereotype for it is you get high as shit and suddenly you're like, I don't strictly have to do anything. I can just watch Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
I mean, ideal, right? Somebody used to joke around that it would make nothing like at least entertaining. So like if you didn't have anything to do, it would make something out of nothing. You could just do it, and like at least at the bare minimum you could just kind of do nothing, and that would be better than whatever doing nothing you were doing before.
South Park says that. They give the speech on the kids, and because at first they try to convince kids,
but also like that will what?
That'll just about kill you, and they see that's not true. And at the end, he wraps up, and he's like, it's not going to kill you. You might like it.
Might if you do it like Kyle is doing.
But if you do it all the time or do it too much, then you don't do anything, and you're just okay with not doing anything. And you don't become what you could be. That's what it says. I'll stop.
It makes you okay with complacency. There's 25 gummy bears in here. Each one has 100 milligrams each.
Jesus
and
Christ.
So it's very dense. I'm telling you, I said it on the last time they advertised with us a couple weeks ago. If you don't have a tolerance, start with 1 foot. 1 foot of the gummy bear.
I want to go bite a foot right now.
Wait until like another hour into the show and then do a foot. I'm serious. Wait and then do a foot.
It takes an hour to kick in, though. That'll be
go eat a foot. Go grab it. Bring it back and eat a little. Just 1 foot. This is good content. This is good content.
Because here's the thing: the spray coating is legit. Like I've seen in products I buy before, you could see where it was like spritzed on there. You could see it.
Mm-hmm.
These things are legitimately 100 milligrams, and apparently I'd never experienced that before. They are so goddamn strong.
They're very strong.
I've worked my tolerance up to 3. I eat 3 if I want to get really high.
Don't take 3, anyone, please. Please no one take 3. And I'm not joking. You're gonna have a rough day. You're gonna have a rough next 16 hours if you take fucking 3 of those. Yeah. But I'm telling you, if you're someone with a tolerance to weed and stuff like this, you know what you're doing. I won't insult your intelligence. If you're someone who's like, I want to try this new product, get a little nice buzz while I'm relaxing at night, just something gentle. Literally 1 foot off of the gummy bear, not from the waist down, you maniac. Not both feet. Quarter out 1 foot. And that's genuine. And I say 1 foot because that's such a low dose that there's no way someone's going to eat a foot and get too high. Like if anything, you're going to eat it and be like, oh, that, this is less intense than I thought.
Well, I mean, I'm a little less
intimidated now. That's the same gummies. Yeah. That's just different packaging.
All right. So here's how to think of it. The thing's 100 milligrams, obviously. Like you could easily put it on a kitchen scale and slice into 10 slices and have 10 milligram doses. And 10 milligrams is a good starter dose. 1/10 of that fucking bear is a starter dose. Definitely.
You have to reach your thumbnail in and peel the actual secured part. It is childproof. Yeah.
I was like, I work out all the time. No, it's easy now that I've had instructions. Okay.
Like Woody's all show.
Those are all show muscles. He can't even get his legal weed gummies
Should I bite off both feet?
1 foot.
You're serious about 1 foot?
I want people to see that like 1 foot's not scary.
You should eat here. I think you should eat both feet, but not the whole waist. There's a difference between the feet and the whole waist.
Do both
had a
feet?
Dick, you do not eat where his dick would be.
Eat where his ankles would be.
Well, I mean, go up to the thigh, but just don't go any higher.
Okay, I think that's fair. So that's all right. That's like a fifth of it, or I
would roll with that. I think
let's roll with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's stop nibbling on it.
Well, he did exactly what I told him not to do. So
wait, what did I do wrong?
He enjoyed the flavor. I told you.
You ate where the dick would have been.
Watermelon.
It tastes like watermelon.
No, this is really
dude. The birthday cake flavor rocks. It's great.
Does it?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. This is strawberry jam. Birthday cake's better.
I disagree with all of that. I think the peach is the best flavor by far. It is the one that tastes the closest to actual candy, if you even care about that sort of thing. But I don't know how the stuff is priced on their site, but they send us this big boy box that's got like many little 1,000 milligram packets in it. And then, like Taylor showed you before, the 2,500 milligram jar.
I just remembered I had a gummy. I'm starting to get I'm like, what is happening here?
I hope legit... I don't
lag. I forgot all about the gummy.
Feel it come. Just know you ate more than we wanted you to.
What? I thought I smashed these instructions.
It'll be fine. No. I felt like you ate where the dick was.
Maybe I did. It just seemed like so little.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Nah. I know. It's hard to illustrate that point effectively enough because you look at it and you're like, no way.
Right?
No way. But I'm telling you, I ate 3 of them when I first got them, and it was such a nightmare. You okay over there?
Death by gummy shit hits different. If that was 20 milligrams, why is this the highest I've ever been?
It's real deal. See, we're not fooling folks. It's good for people. It's good for people at home that they saw this. Start very
this shit
small
is like
amount.
truth serum too. Like
This gets you lit. Yeah, it's high quality stuff. Code PKA20 for 20% off, folks.
We've got me with my internet fucking killing me. Woody's high as fuck, and it's pretty cute. And you just drenched in sweat. I really like this show. This has been a great show. I wish that I hadn't had those interruptions because I've had just a blast, and I've enjoyed Matt. I hate that you're insufferable down there, or not insufferable if you're suffering down there. I guess you're a little insufferable. I
just forget the debate part.
but no, I like that Woody got high as fuck because he ate the dick. I watched him eat the dick, and I was like, I still. Oh, can I see it? Can I see the? I need evidence.
I bet maybe it was even almost a third of it the 8, which would be like
I don't think so. I remember
or maybe less.
So much less.
Taylor, how much money would I have to pay you to crawl into a sleeping bag right now and sleep until 8 a.m.?
Oh, dude, I'd pass away. Like I'd die. I think I'd actually die if I got into a sleeping bag and slept.
And all you can have to drink for the rest of the night is chili juice, like from a bowl of
chili juice.
Like you strain the bowl of chili and it's that juice. It's hot. It's hot.
Yeah. Oh, I make mine with unlimited drinks, chili juice, and high alcohol British warm beer. You can have that. The worst possible thing.
Ooh, a hot beer.
Okay.
There's the one I ate versus a brand new one.
Okay, so that's we were right. About 20% of it, about a fifth of it. Yeah, that maybe even less than that. Be careful, folks.
Here's the other thing, and another thing, Woody, is it's a different chemical. It's a different chemical as well. So I don't know. Maybe it's stronger than weed. I think it's stronger than weed.
I mean,
maybe I'm wrong.
These
I don't know.
Specifically, these 100 milligram edibles feel like a fucking weed edible. Like they're so correctly dosed. I think people have thought Delta 8 was way weaker than it was for a long time because so many companies were like, "Oh, this is a 50 milligram edible," and it really had fucking 7 in there. So you convince yourself.
Solid theory.
I may be overstating it to say that it's stronger than weed. I really don't know. It's hard to put a good grasp on it because I haven't eaten any real weed in so long. It's been since last October.
I've taken mushrooms and never admitted it. It was this year. I was on a motorcycle trip. I'm trying not to dox the people I was with, but I took 1 gram, which apparently is a pretty small dose. And it was a really good time. Things were super funny. Things that aren't interesting were more interesting. Like it was smoke at a campfire. It looked like it had purple edges or something. And but mostly I just really enjoyed my friend's company. That it did that as an enhancer, and that was my experience. I wasn't out of it. I did make sure that I had all my shit together before it kicked in. My tent was up, my clothes. I changed my clothes. The fire was started. I got all my shit done before it kicked in. But so all I had to do was sit in the camp chair, enjoy the warmth, keep the fire going, and enjoy my friend. And it was actually pretty awesome. It was a super good experience. And 1 gram is mild, like I said, and I assume it goes by the size of you, like any other drug. So
I don't think for psychedelics, I don't know if it does.
Okay.
I think because it's like a blood or it's like a brain neurotransmitter thing. I think it's like alcohol is a body weight thing. I think amphetamines are body weight things. But I think when it comes to LSD or mushrooms or DMT, I think that the same amount of similar effects of people. That's what I've heard.
I hope that's true because the small guy was being a real bitch about
it. Yeah, well, I'm definitely out of my depth, and I've never been any other size. But it was it was like a super positive experience. Oh, and by the way, there was no downside on the other half. With alcohol, for example, you have a really good night filled with laughs, and you wake up in the morning feeling like shit. Even if you're not hungover, you're not sharp and good and happy.
Yeah, you're not where you want to be. You're like, I'm not at 100%.
And you've either taken on a lot of calories or you've beat the shit out of your liver a little bit. The crazy thing about psychedelics is 2 huge things. One is that they're relatively safe. Like that, well, not even relatively, they're very safe. Probably even compared to most foods you eat, they're pretty safe, right? You eat them, you process them, you have a fun time, you're done. The second thing though is, oh my God, the entertainment to dollar ratio compared to traditional drugs is unreal. When I did acid for the first time, and I was like, $10 for 2 tabs of acid, and I'm having fun for 12 hours. And I live out in LA. If I want to go get drunk, it's $15 a mixed drink. This shit is unbelievable with no downsides. Like that was the craziest thing to me, is how cheap these things are, and then how much fun you have.
It's $5 a hit, and like, I mean, $20 will send you to a real fun place.
Oh,
for a long time,
all night.
I want to say this. I was with subject matter experts, and they call it set and setting. I wish they called it mindset and setting, because that's what they mean. But it's important that like you're having a good day and you're having a chill time, and you're like, wherever you are, it's okay if you go ×3 on it. If you're pissed off and that's where you start your mushrooms, and that's not a good time to do it. And then the setting, someplace safe, someplace
Walmart.
happy. In my case, it was camping. And it says get your set and setting right. Dude, do a low dose, especially if you're new. I did a low dose that you might consider a pussy dose, and I really had a positive experience.
Yeah, you can't take pussy dose people seriously, where they're like, "Oh, you don't have a huge problem with mushrooms like me."
I ego dose my drugs, bro.
Yeah, that's why when I drink Everclear, no change.
Everclear.
I want my stomach like lining burning through.
Yeah,
I didn't even get like that like feeling of euphoria you're talking about. I've only done mushrooms once also, and I don't know how much I took, because it was my roommate freshman year of college who just gave me some off his desk. It was definitely a low dose, but like I don't remember feeling like joy or anything like that. I just remember like sitting there in our dorm. It was like a Tuesday night or something, and like I was watching It's Always Sunny, like season 2 or something on the DVDs he introduced me to the show, and I just remember like sitting there and like the TV kind of breathing at me. Like kind of moving towards me and pulsating, but like, and I thought it was going to get more intense than that. No, it was really like, okay, colors, maybe those are more vivid. Things are, if I focus on something, it starts to manipulate and breathe. I took what he gave me. I have no idea. I didn't even know like how it was dosed or anything. Yeah. I took mushrooms before. I had not smoked weed at that point in my life.
How did you take it? Like what?
I ate it. Like it was, it tasted rough.
Mine was on I think it was on a spoon, and I chased it with water. Like, so it was ground up to be almost dust. And I ate that off a spoon and then chased it with water.
His wasn't even ground up to like dust. It was like almost like you would mince an onion, like that size of it. And I just ate it, and like,
that's how I've had it.
Didn't even chew all of it.
He had a tool that would do that.
I started with whole mushrooms, and just.
You're muted,
Kyle. Muted. Okay. Well, he started with whole mushrooms. You know that much.
The whole mushrooms, then chopped them up with a knife, and then just kind of like rolled them together in a somewhat ball that then starts like falling apart and growing, like doing that thing like when you fame. But
when you put water on a straw paper.
Yeah.
Does acid taste like anything, or do you not even know?
Not at all.
So like I've only seen it on like the little tabs, the little pieces of paper. But like it's such a tiny piece of paper, like it's way smaller than you think. There's nothing in my world that is that small that I could compare it to.
That gives you that much. If you look at it the first time, it almost seems like you're getting like kind of pranked. Like you have a microscopic, but a very, very, very tiny square paper, and then you put it on your tongue, and it almost
square.
Looks like
that's funny.
Square centimeter, maybe, but I don't think so. Maybe less.
When I didn't do it in high school, I've never done it, but it was described to me as the size of a postage stamp.
Oh no,
way smaller.
Like if you have a postage stamp, we've got enough for the party.
Yeah, postage stamp is like you've got like 20 hits of LSD there.
I wonder if it changed, or like maybe it's more pure now and it shrunk and it's like.
There's a whole story with like the production of LSD, because like, and I'm no expert, but I want to say that this guy at one point made like 100 million fucking doses or something like that.
He was like the world provider of
for LSD. A long time. Like all the LSD in like the 70s or something was his LSD or whatever the story is. But it's a tiny little piece of paper. It's hard to just get one, because you're just like two people are like pulling it opposite ends.
That small. It's not like it's a.
My fingernails aren't precise enough to like carefully grab like this thing. It's so small.
How long is the come up? I know Destiny said it was like smooth, but is it like an hour after you take it?
I think
I knew an hour in. And I was like, I want more now. And they're like, well, let's wait a little more. I'm like, no, let's go ahead and start with 2 now. And then like every hour, I added another one.
Jeez.
Until I was out.
I think on LSD, I think you're peaking at around 3 hours, and then you peak maybe for like 30 minutes, and then you glide down based on your dosage. That would be like 1 tab about.
Yeah, it was. Okay. But the only like crazy stuff I saw was like everything breathed. You know, it did that sort of pulsating thing, and colors would sort of do this, I don't know, inversion kaleidoscope thing where like the center of the color would revert to the sort of shade that the perimeter was, and that would like revert back and forth, if that makes sense. Like rosy cheeks on a painting, like the edges of it were darker, and then the center was darker, and that would go back and forth if you stared at it. The clouds were fucking moving.
So my tiny mushroom dose had nothing but positive and good vibes. Did your LSD dose do that? Did anyone ever kind of wish they could get off this train?
One person seemed uncomfortable, but almost like they were feigning discomfort to be funny, which is probably why I was being so mean to them.
Because you saw through the ruse.
I guess it's like, stop acting like you're the only one here doing something for the first time. We're all trying something new, and you're ruining it for everyone. You little fuck.
You piece of shit.
But I just felt like he was being like white girl with her first wine spritzer high, and it was annoying. But that was probably just me being an asshole. And like maybe that was appropriate, maybe it wasn't. But fuck him for ruining my high. But yeah, it was a good time. I like LSD. I like watching like.
Would you do it by yourself?
Oh yeah. Like there's no fear. There's no like, oh, I could do LSD and make a silly phone call or walk outside naked. No more than you could do either of those things when you had 3 beers. Like,
see, I wouldn't do mushrooms by myself. Now, probably people would disagree with me and do, but enhancing the good vibes of the people I was with was kind of what it did for me.
Oh, ideally I'm with people. Ideally I'm with a girl and we're having sex, because I think sex on LSD would be the tops. But I would do it alone, I guess is what I'm saying. But I would prefer to be with friends or even family or anybody that you like, that you can hang out and chat with and shoot the shit and joke around and just generally laugh about how the desk over there moved a little. Did you see it? I saw it. Look at it. I'm going to look away. You look at it. You tell me if it moves.
Maybe it's my looking at it that caused it to move.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I've heard of this. This has something to do with quantum entanglement.
This is Schrodinger's table. Yeah.
This is a Jedi thing.
So it's like
Neil deGrasse Tyson told me about this.
So like I know lots of people
if that's right or wrong.
who really enjoy acid, but like you never hear about them like taking too much like over like a week. Like sure, they might trip too hard, but I mean like if someone trips acid, it's not like the next day they wake up and they're like, I got to get back in the zone, and then they dose again. Like it seems like a rarer experience.
I was told initially that like, because of whatever it's doing to your brain chemistry, that like you need to wait a couple of weeks to like reload before you do it again, or it's going to be diminishing returns for sure. And I do know that guy from Channel 5, you know, the all gas, no brakes guy who interviews the Sturgis and stuff, he did a ton of acid as like a 13-year-old. And I can't remember what the consequences were, but they're permanent and life-changing. Like, I can't remember what's wrong with him. Like, he always like, he has some kind of like tinnitus, or there's something wrong with him caused by the years of like acid abuse as a child.
Okay, well that's not good.
There's something called HPPD, which is hallucinogenic peripheral persistent disorder, which means you'll see shit in the corner of your eyes, or you'll have like a I don't know if some people have it naturally, but if you look at a wall and it's dark, it's not actually dark. There's kind of like a white like TV fog over everything, like on a staticky channel over everything naturally. You can develop that, I think.
That's terrible.
Y'all don't all have that?
I do, but I don't know if I have it from doing drugs or if I always had it, and that kind of worries me. But yeah, so like if you're in a dark room and you look at something, or even just a normal wall, there's like kind of like a TV fuzz over everything, right?
Well, yeah, I can't process walls. Y'all can?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Is it just a solid color for you with no noise?
It's a lot of noise.
I mean, I guess there's some
I can't
noise
choose
there.
one color. It's mostly gray, but there's darker bits, and it's all random like clouds.
Okay, well, I guess I've never actually thought about this. Yeah, there are bits.
Close your eyes and tell me what you see. We got like 20 more minutes.
Blackness. Solid blackness. Now I'm picturing Kyle naked.
All right.
Yeah.
Am I excited?
You're more excited than you've ever been.
Painfully so. Painfully so.
Pupils dilated, ready to fuck.
Do we lock eyes? Are we looking at each other or?
No, I'm looking inside your rented home. You don't know I'm there.
Oh no. Oh, is this one of those like you've been living here for a while, or you're like an intruder tonight kind of scenarios?
I'm plotting.
Oh, okay. You're just here to like.
I'm scoping out valuables. I'm waiting for you to take another tab so then I can come in. Steal your
Is
TV.
it the valuables you want, or is it something more?
I want the most valuable. Your anal virginity.
That's right.
Jesus.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which I know you don't already have, but we can pretend.
Of course not. No. Well, this is all role play anyway. So why? I mean, of course.
That's so funny that Woody did mushrooms. I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
Good
and he
for
always
him.
leaves when we role play.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't, it makes him uncomfortable. It's like the whole point is to make people uncomfortable.
He hates the daddy son role play. I can't imagine why. I told him I'd be the daddy, and that doesn't sweeten the deal at all.
Yeah, we set it up for him. Kyle and I were going to be his two dads, and he was going to come in and watch us fuck. Well, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're gonna take us both to the parent-teacher conference? Yeah. Is that gonna be embarrassing for you?
I haven't told you guys about Mind Bloom yet. I signed up with this thing called Mind Bloom. I think I told you I was gonna do it, but that was months ago. They sell ketamine. It's kind of expensive. I think it was $1,200 for 6 hits. So it's not for everybody, but it's legal. They're doctors and they sign up. They ship you.
They have clinics now. Yep, ketamine.
Yeah. They ship you this pretty bougie kit with like a high-end blindfold, some ketamine, some Zofran so you don't get sick.
Are you serious?
Yeah. What is your question?
He's right, Kyle. I know.
I'm so keep going. Tell me more.
Yeah, I'm in. But
I love ketamine. Ketamine is very addictive, though. Be very.
Hold on, Larry.
Some.
Hold on, Larry. We're gonna hear Woody's ketamine.
Tell us
So they sell you
ketamine,
this bougie kit with the blindfold and the Zofran and this and that, and it comes with a blood pressure cuff to make sure that like you're appropriate condition to do this. And before you do it, you talk with a therapist and you go over your goals as you want what you want this trip to be. Like, what are you working on? What are you doing? You know, this and that. And then they give you the audio track to listen to, and it's pretty interesting. So to take ketamine, for those of you who've never taken it, you put it under your tongue and you wait. And the therapist described it pretty well. She's like, it tastes like you think a pharmacy might taste. And I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
Bad.
Yeah. And you have to keep it under your tongue for 7 minutes without swallowing. Okay. And while you do this, you're listening to their audio track, which is designed for this. So like a chime goes off at the 7-minute point, and then you spit it out and, put on your blindfold, and they give you this, like the soundtrack is influential. It's like motivational speeches and mind-opening things about the meaning of life and like what's important in this world, how fleeting this time on earth we have is. And it between the therapy with the counselor, the therapist, and the audio track, by the time you spit this stuff out, you are really influenced to have an insightful trip. And then the whole time, you have your goals. You're trying to work through like what do you want to happen on the other side of this trip? And it lasts 2 hours. And then at the end, like the counselor dials you back up and she has you write like your thoughts while they're still fresh, right? Ever wake up, you remember a dream very vividly, and then 40 minutes later, you can't remember it at all. There's a similar kind of thing going on. So you write your notes as soon as you come out of this trip as to like what conclusions you reached while you're in this ketamine induced high. it's as if all my ideas are not subject to the second guessing that they normally are, right? You know, if you say, I've reached this conclusion, you're like, yeah, you know, it's not that simple. There's some things on either direction of this. This is why it was hard in the first place. When you're on a ketamine high, every idea you have is brilliant and unquestioned, and just like, this is what the answer is for you. So I just sort of wrote down all these things, like relationship things, life things, career things, finance things. And these were my answers at the time. Now, well, you know, they don't necessarily survive, you know, your sober interrogation of them, but it is pretty neat to see what your mind arrives at when it's unencumbered by.
Is the blindfold is that for the full 2 hours or just that's for the full 2
hours? Except for the first 7 minutes. I think I wasn't blindfolded when I waited with it under my tongue.
So I have so many questions. How did you find what's this service called? Mind
Bloom.
Okay. And how did you find out about them?
A friend sent it to me and said, like, you know what, you might like this. And I don't know how to say this without being an asshole. I didn't talk about money. I don't know how to be an asshole. But $1,200 for this, this is reserved for people who have $1,200 to throw away, right? It's not everybody. But
it was how many hits? Forgive me.
6. Yeah. So here's what happens. They give you a dose the first time, and they're kind of aiming at the low side of right. And I came back and I was like, you know what? Like, I was high. It was influenced. I liked it. But the truth is, by 45 minutes in, I felt like, ever be drunk? And you are drunk. But if your mom was there, you could act not drunk. You could fight it and undo it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like I was kind of there, you know, like I was definitely influenced and doing it. But the second hour, I was almost trying to be drunk, like white girl on White Claw.
Trying to keep it going. Yeah.
So they doubled my dose for the next 5. And that's what happens. They send you 1 dose, you report back how it went, and then they send you the next 5.
Okay. So
I got questions for that. Go ahead.
Well, my question was like, what's to stop you from being like, you know what? I decided to just do all these drugs and not call your therapist back. I just really wanted to get real high.
It's 1,200.
The first one, I don't know. You like, I guess I didn't think to question the program the first time. I wanted the therapist to sort of be there and guide me through it and help me with my goals and stuff. The second one, it was a little confusion. Like I went to schedule the second one and they're like, oh, that's unguided. And then they were texting me like, hey, why haven't you done the second one? I was like, low key, I did, but I did, you know, your website said that was unguided. I'm a little mixed up. And then 3 through 6 are just on your own. So, you know, they don't do that hand holding once you develop your own expertise.
I'm curious. I don't know what ketamine costs on the street, and I know that really doesn't matter because I don't want to commit any crimes. But here's why it does matter. If I found out that ketamine costs like LSD is cheap as fuck. LSD is like $25, and we're gonna get out of our minds. So if I found out that they were selling me $1,200 worth of ketamine, but really it was $12 worth of ketamine, I'd be like, God damn it! Is there a place I can just travel to and make a vacation of this and do it there?
Pause there. I know the answer to this.
Yeah, that.
It's yes. I paid a lot for this, right? Some people are going to call me stupid, but I get to choose that I valued the therapy a lot.
No. You kept yourself out of any possible legal trouble while getting exactly what you wanted.
Well, you haven't heard me through.
Oh, then I'll listen.
I can go to a place locally, I've learned, like in Raleigh, where they give it to you by IV, and it's stronger and cheaper and better. Right? But I still don't feel ripped off because I feel like I got the value out of the set, the setting, the audio, like all those things. I was brand new, right?
Yeah, it's a service.
If when I finish that, if I still want to do this again, I might go and do the IV route the next time around. But for me, it was like,
is this a North Carolina thing? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm boggled here by the idea that ketamine is being slung out on the streets.
Ketamine is a prescription drug, and doctors are given leeway to prescribe what they think helps you. Period. It's given out by anesthesiologists pre-surgery frequently, I'm told.
See, I knew that, but like,
okay,
it's not like I can go somewhere and get some laughing gas. There's not some doc who's like, "Hey, you want to go on a little silly trip real quick?" Like that doesn't happen. So why is
if you have a cool dentist?
Yeah, you
it smells like bubble gum.
Hey, Woody, I totally get what you did. Totally get what you did because of the experience. It's like going to a great massage parlor or whatever it is. It's an experience. When I did ketamine and have done ketamine and done acid, and I'm with Kyle, I like the acid a lot better. And I'll tell you what, I didn't do that 7 minutes. You didn't have to do that. You know, we did a dropper, you know, like what do they call them? A fucking
eyedropper. Yeah, like an eyedropper.
Yeah. Whatever. Under the tongue, boom, let it. I fucking totally enjoyed the high because I felt like you said, I didn't give a fuck kind of deal, like whatever it was, but I couldn't even stand up. I was laughing at myself. I could not fucking stand up. So when you think of that, how do you not stand up? It's fucking.
You must have had a much higher dose than like this, like introspective journaling.
Well, the 7 minutes, it must have been crazy. But again, I've done a lot of drugs. LSD or acid or whatever, which you want to get me always to the best place that I've been where you can laugh.
Oh shit, he's got his fucking ketamine kit. God
they
damn,
call,
what is,
you know, they call it,
God damn.
They call it ketamine, a couple of names.
Dude, 2005, Woody would not recognize this man. This yoked ass fellow coming in with his ketamine kit in his mansion.
Having a ketamine, yeah. Dude, you said that so well. Walking in with his ketamine kit in his mansion, like this is the coolest thing you've ever done.
This is my bougie little ketamine kit, and I open it up. I can't stress enough how high quality this fucking eye thing is. It's got like little pads here. Anyway,
$1,200.
This is a notepad. I don't write very well, but I type well, so I didn't use it. It comes with this tricky little pen. Everything about this is high quality. This is the blood pressure cuff, if I could open it with one hand. And finally, I don't want to show this too carefully because it's like my doses and personal information printed on it. But these are the ketamine tablets. And, this is the anti-nausea Zofran stuff. And this is just my freaking bougie little ketamine experience.
Did you need the anti-nausea?
I haven't tried it without it. I'm finished, Zach.
Oh. I wonder, I'd like to hear others' experiences of doing it without it because I'm going to do this. Is this North Carolina? Is this everywhere? Like what?
It's my impression it's everywhere, but I'm not sure. I just know that it's in Raleigh.
I am going to I'm going to find the closest way to go somewhere and get an IV of fucking ketamine. Although I do hate IVs, but I'll do it for this. If they'll give me the anti-nausea, I'll put the IV in myself. That's
you
the
don't
problem
need an IV. That's for sure.
I want the hardest hit I can get. I want to go somewhere.
It's just going to get there quicker. It's not so much harder. You know, it's a process, but it's going to get there.
Well, however they'll give it to me, if it's legal, then I'm absolutely down because I love shit like this. I never thought I would do ketamine because it sounds so. It's like, how did the dealer get this? Because it's like an anesthetic.
It's a horse tranquilizer.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard cat tranquilizer. I think vets just have it. Do you have to rob a fucking vet to get the shit? That seems so shitty.
I know a guy who can rob anything. Hear me out. He's a crooked jeweler.
I bet they've got good shit. I bet if you break into like an animal hospital, that they've got like the animal version of some really good stuff, but under less scrutiny than a pharmacy or a hospital.
Here you go, Kyle.
You get caught robbing some dogs, you could probably just offer.
Kyle says there's one in Atlanta. That's that link he gave you. Zach
when prescribed by a physician licensed to practice in Georgia, ketamine for off-label treatments is legal.
Boom.
So you can get on it.
I was just told by a friend of mine who's in this business and he sells to doctors all kinds of stuff from MDMA to all the psilocybin, everything. And he talked to me about ketamine. He goes, Larry, they think they had a opioid addiction crisis in the country. Because ketamine is going to be worse. This is what a guy who's been around for a long time. He said is very, very addictive. Now, I've done it a couple times. Again, I didn't have it. He goes, not everybody always.
You seem resistant to addiction if you did the opioids like that. Me, I can't speak to that kind of. I forget if I've done 2 or 3 trips. I think it's just 2 so far out of the 6.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, it's been 4 weeks. I'm not pulling for it or anything. I'm actually behind schedule. You're supposed to take it weekly. The idea is that they call it, I don't know how much of this is bullshit, but it seems to be in actual research. They call it, I think, neuroplasticity, where you're just a little more influenced, where you can program yourself to have happy thoughts and be good. And you should take it weekly so the sort of neuroplasticity sets. It's cumulative. Mm-hmm. I haven't done that properly. I took one, waited 2 weeks, took the other. It's been like 4 weeks since then. So I'm not following the program like I'm supposed to.
Okay, but describe the high to me, because this is kind of out of your normal sphere of influence. This is different.
Everyone's so bad at describing highs, and I'm no better. But for one, I was in a very good mood. They put me in this sort of setting that I was there to work problems out and not waste the high, right? So I'm like intentionally thinking about what to me are the major things in life, like family, finance, relationships, like all that shit. And what brings actual joy and happiness at a deeper level, right? Not roller coasters, but like fucking fulfillment. And so I'm there like processing those kind of thoughts, getting ready to take notes on it afterwards. And every thought I have is the right one. It's like, aha, this is what fills Jackie's bucket. Aha, this is what fills mine. Like I'm rising at these brilliant conclusions. And in addition to that, it's just a really sort of happy vibe. I've got the music playing that normally I'd get bored to, just like rhythmic sounds and gentle music. But under ketamine, it is not the least bit boring to me. It is just facilitating and happy and joyous. Carry on.
Do you think you'd like to just take a whole bunch of it and watch Star Wars? Wouldn't that be pretty fucking cool?
They program me to feel like that's a wasted high, right? To be like, you know what, I hear you, right? You're like, hey, there's more highs where that came from. But to me, like I really got into sort of they have Mind Bloom has audio tracks, right? They're labeled 1 through 6. And if it's your third time doing it, you listen to the third one, and it's sort of a speaker putting you in the mindset to sort out problems and issues. And that's what I was looking for.
Do you feel like maybe you solved any issues that maybe you didn't even know you had? And like you feel better?
I've referred back to those notes, and I found that my conclusions were good ones, and I just need to be reminded of them. Like, ever read a motivational book and you come out of it like the best version of yourself, right? You finish 7 Secrets of Highly Successful People, and you're like, fuck, yes, I am going to start my day with a to-do list and then work it. And I'm just so much better than I was before. Yeah. And then 4 months later, it wears off. I refer to my notes and my conclusions and be like,
I was supposed to be winning friends and influencing people.
No, but like I refer to my notes and I'm like, you know what? I was right when I said this. Like this is what fills Jackie's bucket, for example. And
I'm gonna do this as soon as possible. I'm gonna look at all the available clinics. I don't understand quite how they're able to do this, but there's a way to just get me a whole bunch of ketamine and take it at home while I watch movies. That's all I want, if I'm being honest.
Doctors don't face a lot of scrutiny, and I like this about what they prescribe, right? As maybe you have some limited experience. Like, hey, all these are legal drugs. They're
calling it Obi-Wan Kenobi therapy.
This is a legal drug. It's not usually used for this purpose, but it turns out that if a doctor thinks it's right for you, then you can have it. And that ketamine maybe falls under that kind of umbrella.
Wow, so we give those doctors a lot of leeway, huh?
Yeah,
like we just kind of just trust whatever they say.
So ketamine as a street drug is expensive.
Probably a good idea.
Is what Larry said, right? Like pretty pricey.
He did say that.
And is it like not safe on the street? Like it's not the quality. I don't even know. I don't know shit about ketamine.
No, I don't either, but I know the guy I was with and I trusted him. Obviously, that's what I always say. But I didn't have anything Woody had with the head. Maybe it was other stuff I was fucked up with or whatever. But I had the fucking total feeling he's saying, but I didn't get I could my life, or maybe it was just that we were focused on. I try to run away from shit. You know what I mean? My own way. And so everybody has their outs. You know what I mean? Whatever they do. So,
I hate to bore people with my freaking repetitive mushroom story, but when the time I did that it worked, I was at a campfire with good friends. The set and setting has a big impact on your high, and probably everyone's done alcohol. That has an impact too, right? Like if your dad's letting you drink and you can't act like an asshole, then that's one experience you might have with alcohol. But if you're with your friends and you're like pumping it up and it's okay to be the ridiculous, uninhibited version of yourself, then you get a different experience from alcohol. Ketamine has to be the same way. They just sort of put me in a place where I had some pleasurable deep thinking.
So that's really fascinating. I did not know that you could get ketamine for these purposes.
You're gonna do it, Taylor?
Not at $1,200 for 6 of them.
Well, no, we'll find a cheaper way. Like we don't need all that therapy stuff. Like he was interested in that, but we aren't necessarily. Well, I don't know about you, but I want some ketamine.
If I was going to do it once, I would spend the first one trying the journal thing.
Don't give me 6 little doses. Give me one big dose.
If
those fools said trips 2 through 5 at once.
do it for the environment, if nothing else. Just one bottle full.
If after I take one in journal, I'm like, let's see what I got, and it's like how to fix the Amazon Lord of the Rings show. And it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do drugs. Like, this was what I was really concerned about. There's pages of this.
And you get insurance to cover it. Oh, I'm so into this. I'm gonna do a little more research. I had no idea. You would think when a drug became like willy-nilly prescribed that there'd be like, hey everybody, guess what? And like there'd be like a party like in the streets or something. Like
a ketamine party.
Ketamine party, like for real. Like,
I figured you would have like a Google alert set up for drug legalizations.
Is your blood pressure fine, Kyle? I forget.
Yeah. I gave it
highest in class.
Always number one. Nobody even comes close.
At your age, it should be.
Mine's also fine, but I have to work to keep it fine. And that was a thing that I was like, it was like, it was cool, but that I was worried on like game day that it would be high or something. But
the testosterone definitely raises my blood pressure. It's just a consequence. And all the red meat I eat also raises my blood pressure. And so I have to be really careful with salt. I can't use as much as I can't salt my meats properly because I eat so much meat. If I'm like on a bulk, if I'm actually eating like 2 fucking pounds of meat, just the amount of salt that goes on 2 pounds of meat a day is a lot of fucking salt. It's too much salt. But last time I got it done was when I got that blood work done maybe 2 months ago. I don't know. I sent you my BP, whatever it was. I don't remember. And I couldn't tell you what a good one is. I'm not that guy.
Oh, 120
I always have to Google every time
I
I do mine. I Google and I'm like, all right, we're good. All
right. So anyway, that's my ketamine story. I wanted to tell it.
No, sick. I'm so glad that you said that.
That's awesome.
I'm super into it.